look at the latest NFL rumors out there, and we will start things off, rightfully so, with the latest surrounding Dez Bryant. If you missed the top of the show, the exclusive reporting here, according to a source that I trust, is that Dez Bryant, before visiting with the Cleveland Browns, visited with the Oakland Raiders, which is entirely unsurprising. Then
classic John Gruden move.
Yes, exactly. Eventually went on to visit the Cleveland Browns. Got to the point where the Browns and Dez agreed to a deal and then fell apart the last second. This according to the reporting. So why that deal fell apart, we don't know. It has been previously reported that the Browns offered a shade under $5 million for Dez Bryant. That did not go down either. So Dez is without a team right now. As for New England, they have yet to call Dez Bryant, according to this source here. So no interest from New England, but Dez took to Twitter last night.
Cam.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet. And Dez took to Twitter last night saying that he would love to line up alongside Julian Edelman and Gronk and Hogan there. So,
which I agree with. And I think that Dez makes sense for the Patriots, contrary to what Harris Rubenstein says. I think Dez would be a fit in New England.
Thank you. You're with me on that.
Yes, I am with you on that. But they, as you reported, they don't seem to be all that interested right now, despite having questionable wide receiving core so far. Let's put it that way. Beyond Gronk, of course.
It's so interesting to me, though, that
Chris Hogan killed me in fantasy, too.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're New England, at least give him a ring, give him a workout, see what he can do. I find it hard to believe that New England is actually turned off by Dez Bryant's, shall we say, outspoken nature, because
look at who they've brought in the past.
And Tom Brady yells all the time on the sidelines. So it's nothing new, per se, to the Patriots regime, if you will. So I said that Dez showed interest via his tweet about New England. He also mentioned this team, the Washington Redskins. Now, this would be the team that allows Dez to play the Cowboys twice in a season at least. So we know that Dez is somewhat fueled by the revenge theme, maybe not so much now than when he was initially cut by Dallas. But Washington's kind of intriguing here. I know they have Jamison Crowder, they have Dotson, they have Paul Richardson. None of these guys are like true wide receiver number ones right now. I'm not saying Dez is, but he can help.
And look at what they did in week 1. Jamison Crowder, 3 catches, 32 yards. Paul Richardson, 4 catches, 22 yards. Josh Doctson, 1 catch for 11 yards. Adrian Peterson, Chris Thompson, and Jordan Reed all had more receiving yards than those players.
Yikes.
So the receiving core is not that great. And by the way, just some more updates here for you on the Patriots, if that makes sense. They actually just cut Riley McCarron, Chad Hansen, making room for a receiver potentially. Maybe it does end up being Dez Bryant, Cam.
Because
you're so committed to that still.
To the New England Patriots. I don't know. All these Patriots rumors are pulling and tugging at my heart right now because I think I'm going to be right and then I'm not right, and we'll see what happens. But hey, you can be right by going to FanDuel.com/chatsports, sign up, and play the #1 daily fantasy app out there. Use that promo code ChatSports. Deposit $5. We're talking about $20 in your back pocket.
That was a weird little hand motion there.
I tried to make it 10 and then 10.
Yeah, it was
That's
a
20.
little weird.
I'm
a little
sorry.
weird. But hey, if you guys think you know more about football than us, DM us on Twitter, @WhatGoingDowney, @MrRogers99. We're doing a free-to-enter FanDuel game, and the winner will send you guys some money as well. So free to enter. There's no downside, Cam.
No downside.
All you got to do is sign up. And DM us for the information, folks, @WhatGoingDowney, @MrRogers99.
All right, some more NFL rumors here. Let's talk about Aaron Rodgers. Did not look good last night. He came back. He pulled off the comeback. Mike McCarthy is yet to commit for Rodgers in week 2.
Yeah, McCarthy says that no decision has been made, but if they let him come back on the field for week 1, I would assume he's good to go for week 2.
You would think.
Unless the knee really swells up and it becomes even worse than it was at the game, which is a possibility, but I would be a little bit surprised if that's actually what ended up happening. So I would venture to say you will see Aaron Rodgers play in week 2 of the NFL regular season, and hopefully he stays healthy. Because after that showing in week 1, Aaron Rodgers is your MVP frontrunner. Well, maybe it's Ryan Fitzpatrick, but it's probably Aaron
there you go.
Rodgers instead.
Yeah, so who's more valuable to their team?
Rodgers.
B for Brady, R for Rodgers. I thought that this would be an interesting question to ask because I think I could get a lot of comments flowing here about differing opinions about Brady and Rodgers. You're saying Rodgers.
It's Rodgers. And Brady is still a GOAT because he had much more success in his NFL career. But I view this as, hey, if I lose this quarterback for the season, which team ends up being worse? It's the Packers. We saw it last year.
That's a good point.
Rodgers is more valuable. He's also the best.
Oh.
He's just not the GOAT.
It seems like the commenters agree with you, Tom.
A lot
You're
of
going
Rodgers in there.
I say
Thank you,
Brady,
guys. I
but-
appreciate it.
All right, some bad news here for Delanie Walker. Been placed on IR this morning. It's no longer a question that he's going to be done for the year. Broken ankle, according to Adam Schefter here. Not a great look for the Tennessee Titans, especially when you look at Marcus Mariota dealing with an injury, and then you look
He's
at this
got an elbow
depth chart.
problem.
Luke Stalker's your top tight end, Tom.
Oh, boy.
For Tennessee.
I would think you'd see more Jonnu Smith on passing downs, but the Titans, rightfully so, really like Delanie Walker. It's an unfortunate injury there. Now, he could potentially come back, but that'd be a bit of a shock.
Yeah.
He's probably out for the year. They could always bring him back off of IR, but expect to not see Delanie Walker this year. If you're in a deep fantasy league, I would prefer Jonnu Smith over Luke Stalker. Smith, from a relatively high draft pick from not that long ago.
Should the Titans make a deep playoff run? Maybe at that point, but we'll see.
Maybe.
All right, let's talk about Le'Veon Bell. When is he coming back? Schefter said before October. La Canfora is saying maybe 4 to 6 more weeks.
And he says that some in the organization don't think he's going to be back until week 10, which he has to be the back by in order to hit the open market and free agency. So, as a Le'Veon Bell fantasy owner, Cam, I am very concerned right now because I want him back on the field for my own personal gain. But at the same time, if you're the Steelers players and the offensive linemen who are very upset, you need your star back there.
Yep.
Like, James Conner was good this week. I don't want to take anything away from James Conner, but you're paying Lev Bell a lot of money to not be there.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you want him on that roster?
You would think.
Like Conner had a good week, but he's not Lev Bell. He's good, but he's not Lev Bell.
Nobody is. Let's face it. So Le'Veon Bell, one of the premier running backs in the NFL, still holding out, and we'll see if he actually does show up this month. Let's talk about Randy Gregory here, Tom. Did he relapse last month?
I don't know. The Cowboys and Gregory say that we don't know of anything, and yet the reports from La Canfora and some Dallas reporters and from Adam Schefter that, something happened. And the key word that I keep seeing is that there was a relapse and not a failed test. That's it. That's a key, and maybe I'm just reading too much into it. That's a key difference for me, Cam. If he failed a test, wouldn't they just say he failed a test?
Sure.
If he self-reported something, or if he did some paperwork or something else, or some type of other thing that's not an actual failed test, maybe that's what the relapse is. But I don't know. Maybe we'll find out more this week. Until then, Randy Gregory keeps hanging out in question mark mode.
Sure.
And I feel bad for him because that's not fun place to be in.
Stay tuned on that. Meanwhile, Daryl Williams, starting right tackle for the Carolina Panthers, suffered an MCL injury. Yesterday, he elected not to get surgery on that MCL.
I feel so bad for him because I thought he was going to miss at least half the year. He came back and was doing pretty well in week 1, and then he got hurt again when DeMarcus Lawrence fell into him. Accident, not dirty. And I think his season's over. And also that, if you're Daryl Williams, you got to worry about yourself now because you're going to be a free agent. Time for you to get paid, and you got to be healthy to get paid.
The 49ers are in the market for a linebacker, perhaps Eric Walden, the former Indianapolis Colt, perhaps to bring in some Leo ability. We've talked about that on the show today.
They're also going to work out Haloi Kakaha.
Yeah.
So 2 guys that fit that Leo edge rusher role. Eric Walden has been a guy who somehow puts up lots of sacks, even though I never think is an elite pass rusher. So he's a classic veteran guy that gets signed and ends up helping out your team. I think this would be a good fit for the 49ers.
Meanwhile, could Rashad Perriman
The
find
return!
a team?
Cam, you love this guy.
So the Eagles are looking at him and a former Raven cast-off, Kamar Aiken. So there you go.
I love your notes. You channeled myself here and just wrote down LMAO.
Because I'm laughing. Wow.
He's not good at football.
By the way, speaking of Ravens cast-offs, Mike Wallace is on that team too, and Torrey Smith has played on the Philadelphia Eagles too. All right, anyway, Mike Mitchell worked out for the Bears today. This would be the case of Rich getting richer because Eddie Jackson, Adrian Amos, these guys are good at safety.
Yeah, but they made some mistakes against the Packers.
That's true.
Late in the game, I think the cornerbacks are more to blame for that, but more depth is always a good thing, especially at safety. Mike Mitchell, been some concern about some injuries with his lower body, but maybe he gets another shot with Chicago.
And some bad news here about Doug Baldwin. Grade 2 MCL tear. The Seahawks, as we stand, are trying to figure out the severity of this injury and how much time Doug Baldwin will actually miss, but he is their best receiver there in Seattle.
Well, if you miss Doug Baldwin for what should be at least a couple weeks with a grade 2 MCL tear, meaning it's partially torn,
right,
You're looking at Tyler Lockett, Brandon Marshall, the other Jay Brown, Jerron Brown, no Doug Baldwin, and then David Moore. Oh, boy.
Not good.
That's not good at all. You need Doug Baldwin out there for that team. Without Doug Baldwin, all of a sudden, that's actually probably one of the worst receiving corps in the NFL. I'm sure Seahawks fans will still tell me how David Moore is good, but they didn't do much of it against the Broncos. Granted, really good secondary, but that's a big red flag for me if I'm Seattle, if Baldwin's going to miss time. He was coming off his own injury before this game.
Seattle 0-1 after losing to the Denver Broncos yesterday.